Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome to our lesson for today. Last week, we traveled with Jesus and his family to Capernaum. Today, we find Jesus at the temple in Jerusalem. The last time you heard about Jesus at the temple was when he was 12 years old, and his parents were looking for him. Now we find Jesus at the temple again. Jesus really looks angry here, doesn't he? Do you know why he is so angry? It is because these people at God's temple in Jerusalem are very greedy. They are trying to make a lot of money from the people who have come here to worship God. Do you see all those young bulls and sheep and doves? Well, the men are selling these animals right here at the temple. Do you know why? It is because the Israelites needed animals and birds to sacrifice to God. God's law said that when an Israelite did wrong, he or she should make an offering to God. And there were other times too when Israelites had to make offerings. Not everybody who came to the temple had their own animals to sacrifice. Some people had to buy the animals. So, outside of the temple, there were people who sold the animals to be used for sacrifices. But the people who were selling were charging the other people just too much money. They were cheating the people. Besides that, they should not be selling right here in God's temple. This is what made Jesus angry. So he turned over the tables of the sellers with the money and threw their coins on the ground. He also made a whip from ropes and drove all the animals out of the temple. Jesus shouted, "Stop making my Father's house a place for cheating the poor people, where you want to make a lot of money for yourselves." The reason why Jesus became angry was because he loved the temple very much, and he wanted everybody to respect the temple. Jesus also loved the people, and he did not want anybody to cheat another person with money, especially the poor people. So it was because of love that Jesus became angry and taught these people a lesson. Today we learn that we must also love our church. And we love our church by being in church as much as we can. Now that we cannot come to church, loving the church means watching the church service with mommy and daddy on the phone or television. Loving the church also means caring for each other in church and looking after each other. That means when we see someone from church, we go to the person and ask, "How are you doing? It is nice to see you." As Christians, we also learn that we must be fair and good to each other, and we must never cheat someone else with anything. Thank you so much for listening today. Please join us again next week. And remember to love your church and be good to each other.